In today's video, traders, I'm going to be talking about a very common question I get, and that is, hey Nick, how do I grow my small trading account? How do I make more money from my trading so that's actually significant? Well, in today's video, we're going to get into that, so stay tuned. Let's get into it right now. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another one of my YouTube videos. I'm super excited here. I've got my board ready. We're going to be taking advantage of that a little bit today in this video. Now, it may be a little bit on the longer side, so bear with me as we get going here. But we're going to be talking about ways to grow your small trading account size. I'm talking anywhere under, $1,000, maybe even up to $2,000. I would consider a relatively small trading account size. Now, I know that's not necessarily a small amount of money. $1,000 is still a significant amount of money, and it is to me and to most people. $1,000 is a significant amount of money. But Nick, how do I grow my trading account? How do I actually make enough money so that it's substantial, so that I could pay off student loans, pay for my house, pay for a car, all of those things, especially those flashy Lamborghinis that you're gonna see all over the internet, Instagram, YouTube, all of it, you name it, it's out there. Today, I'm gonna be talking about the realistic side of trading, and I'm gonna help you step by step talk about what the realistic returns on trading actually can be and what you should probably look to work towards that's more realistic and actually could help change your financial life, right? That's what we're all looking to do. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you should love trading, but you also want to make money from your trading, at least, enough to make it reasonable. So in today's video, my goal is to break that down with you step by step, talk about some realistic ways that you can actually make more money from your trading. Let's get into it, guys. I'm going to use this board. Again, I'm super excited to use it. I've got my marker here. And let's say that you have $1,000 or pounds or euros or whatever you use. Let's say that you have $1,000 for this example in your trading account. You have $1,000 and you want to make a significant amount of money from your account. Again, I get the question all the time, hey Nick, I have this $1,000 account. How can I grow this into a significant amount of money? And also, Nick, by the way, how do I do it in 3 weeks? The thing is, guys, that's not how trading works, and that's not how life works. That's not how business works. That's not how relationships work. You don't get a ton of reward without the risk. You don't get a bunch of pleasure without the pain. Everything in life that's worth doing, in my opinion and in my experience, involves pain, and it involves hard work if you want to actually have success in it. Trading is absolutely no different. I know many successful traders. I know in my own trading journey that success came at a price. It came at a price of lots of dedicated time. It takes a lot of mentorship and surrounding yourself with the right people. By the way, if you like my style and you like hanging out with me on my YouTube channel and you'd like to surround yourself with my community, I have a trading community where you can chat with other traders and also follow my trades live, linked down below in the description if you have an interest in joining that. Back to the board here, let's take a look at this. So we have our $1,000 account. Nick, how do I make a substantial amount of money from this account? Now, what most people are doing is they're looking to double their trading account, and they want to say, hey, can I do that every single year? Let's say that you want to do that and you want to turn your $1,000 account into a $2,000 account. Okay, that means you want to make 100%, right? So you want to make, let's put it over here, 100%. In 1 year, you want to make 100% and double your money every single year so that you can make $2,000. Or I'm sorry, make $1,000 and turn your overall account to $2,000. But let's wait up here for a second, guys, because I think that we need to talk about this. We wanted to make a substantial amount of money. We wanted to pay off a house payment, or we wanted to pay our student loans. Now, $1,000, as we mentioned in the beginning, is definitely a substantial amount of money to myself and to most people. However, $1,000 is not going to make a serious impact on this. Nick, what's the joke here? Why can't I make more money than this? The problem is our starting capital is not that much. Unfortunately, what most people do not want to hear is that it does take money to make money. But don't freak out there. I know people don't like to hear that. Before you leave this video, if you stay tuned, I've got some valuable things to share with you. And really, if you are serious enough to still be in this video, I'm very happy to be here with you because I've got some information that might really help you out. And it's something that would have been really beneficial to me when I was in my trading journey. And I hope to share it with you now. So again, we have $1,000 and we want to turn it into $2,000. I don't want to burst your bubble, but most people are they're definitely not going to be able to do this. That's a very tough number to hit. 100% per year is an extremely good return. I know it's possible, but it's going to involve substantially risking your initial capital. In fact, you risk blowing this account at a relatively high rate. Now, sure, you could make 100%, but in most cases, one series of losses if you're using a stop loss, or one bad trade if you're not using a stop loss, is going to potentially blow the account. That's not what we want to do here. I've never advocated any sort of, trading returns that are going to likely kind of, blow your account. My personal opinion is to use lower risk strategies and to actually go for more modest returns. In fact, what if I said, I'm going to grab a different marker because this one is dying on me. What if I said, this one should work? That'll work. So what if I said, instead of taking this 100%, let's only shoot for 20%. Hold on, before you freak out, I know people are gonna say, well, Nick, now I'm not even gonna make that $1,000 that you initially talked about. So even if I make a 20% return, which by the way is actually a fantastic return, people on the internet will tell you should be able to do 50% per month. I've never seen a consistently profitable trader doing that sort of thing, and they don't have to. That's why you should stay tuned to this video, because I'm gonna talk about that in just a second. So again, 20% per year is gonna take our $1,000 and it's gonna turn it into, what's 20% of 1,000? It's gonna be $200. We only have $1,200 at the end of the year. Well, Nick, how the heck am I supposed to make it off of $200 on my trading account? Well, I'll be frank with you, you're not. You're not going to be able to live off of $1,000 in your trading account making 20% per year. Now, 20% per year is still, again, a substantial amount of money. You may say, well, that's terrible, Nick. But here's the thing, guys. Remember, 20% per year is substantially higher than the average retail trader. Because the average retail trader, how much do you think they make? You think they make 5%? You think they make 10%? Those would both be wrong, because most retail traders lose money. That means they make a negative % on their account every single year, right? Traders are losing money and giving up and quitting left and right. So if you're making 20%, that's actually fantastic. Okay, so most people are gonna quickly see this 20% number and say, oh, that's terrible, that's no good. But here's the thing, if you could actually show consistency in 20%, there are some huge potential rewards waiting on you, so make sure you continue to watch this video, as I'm gonna get to the point, I promise. Keep staying on with me on this topic. So again, we've got $1,000 in our trading account. Nick, how do I grow this thing into a substantial money? Well, we've already noticed that probably you can't, at least not quickly. If you make 20% per year, there is a fact that could help you out. And in fact, it's two things. Number one is compounding your gains actually can be a substantial way to grow your account over time. Now stay with me here. If we had $1,200 at the end of this year, well, next year, what do we start with? We don't start with $1,000. We start with our $1,200. And from there, it keeps going, right? Let's say that you make another 20% in the next year. Well, that compounds and it builds and builds until this initial capital for the new year is actually a substantial amount. So that's number one. That's another great, product, or another great solution to building an account. But remember, it's getting rich, right? We could definitely get rich doing this over time. The thing we're missing is getting rich quickly. And unfortunately, getting rich quickly, at least in most parts of life, is not really something that's sustainable. However, number two of what you could do to actually grow a substantial amount is to stop worrying so much about making money today. And I'm gonna talk about solution number two. So we've just got done talking about compounding your account using 20%, but still, Nick, that's gonna take a while, and even after a couple years at $1,000, how am I gonna make any sort of substantial money? Well, here's number two. Number two is investors. Now, we just talked about building an account with consistency of 20% per year. We also mentioned that most traders are losing money, -% per year. And so if you can make 20% per year and you only have $1,000, well, your problem is not consistency. And it's not that your trading is terrible. In fact, your only problem is that you don't have enough capital. But guess what? There is a solution out there for those of you who can show consistency and who can build small accounts with consistent gains over time. And let me tell you how that goes. Let's use another example, or we're gonna draw on the board a little bit more. Let's say that here's you. right? Here's you, and you're sad. You're sad because you have the ability to trade, right? You're a good trader. Let's say that's your equity curve. Mind my terrible drawing. But you don't have money, right? You don't have enough money. You have $1,000. That's great, but that's not going to be a substantial amount of money anytime soon. But let's talk about another factor. This is you, and you need money. What can you do? Well, there's another character here in the story, and I'm going to make this guy. Mind, he's a little bit on the chubby side. And this is Mr. Investor, okay? So there's you. You don't have any money, but you know how to trade. You've shown consistency for years and years and years. Well, Mr. Investor has money. You can see he's got money, but he needs someone to trade it for. There are active people out there looking for people like you who can trade consistently, and something like 20% per year or even something like 10% per year looks really attractive. Now, stay with me here because I'm actually going to show you why that 10 to 20% means a lot to this guy. Okay, so he has the money. He doesn't know how to trade. Let's say that his equity curve, if he were to trade his own money, wouldn't be so great, right? He's got the money. He's, let's say he retired from a business or whatever. Now he's got money, but he doesn't have the know-how to trade. So then he comes to you and he says, hey, if you trade for me, I'll provide the money. You provide the skill to trade. So remember, you only have $1,000. You don't have any money, but you have something just as valuable. You are able to consistently build a trading account. This is so huge, guys, because this is a valuable skill that investors are looking for. Now, you may say, well, how do I find an investor? Well, first of all, you need to be licensed. And there's some things that you need to know about, being licensed to trade for other people, depending on what country you are, what part of the world. There are different regulations. You can't just trade money for somebody. There's like some sort of, licensing in different parts of the world and countries. So you have to think about that. That's something that you'd have to look into to actually make this possible. However, the simple concept of there's an investor with money, there's you who knows how to trade. There's transaction there where you can get a cut. So let's say that he's going to give you the money, right? So he's giving you the money and he's going to give you also 20% of the returns that you make. So you're going to trade for him. He's going to, let's say you're trading for him. He's going to give you 20% of all profits that you make on his money. So let's clear the board again and just dive into this last concept here. Okay, so we've talked about Mr. Investor, we've talked about you being consistently profitable and you can show it. Let's say that you're verified with a third-party company or some sort of service that tracks reporting for investors and with trading reports, you're gonna need to do that because investors wanna see that, right? But if you can show that and you've built that consistency, assuming you've done that, have some potential waiting for you, and let's go ahead and talk about that now. So again, you have the consistency, you're all built up, everything is going great with your trading, but you need that money. Well, Mr. Investor has found you and he said, hey, let's trade. I'll give you the money, you trade. Well, let's say Mr. Investor has $10 million, okay? Mr. Investor has $10 million and he says, I want you to trade this money. I'm gonna take 80% of the profits, you get 20% of whatever you make. Okay, and let's say that you again make that 20% per year that we talked about earlier. Might be a little bit different now, just a little hint there as we go forward. You make 20% on that money, suddenly you've brought in $2 million on this guy's account. 2 million, whoops, I messed that up. $2 million in trading profits over the next year, let's say. Well, now we're talking, because remember, you waiting down here with your trading results, you get 20% of the profits, which gives you $400,000, right? So you made $400,000, even though you were talking and worried about that $1,000 account. So if you stayed tuned to this video, I hope this helped you. There are ways and there's a demand for traders who can consistently, provide results. So with Mr. Investor, he has the money, you have the know-how, And if you work that out, it's not going to be easy. Just like anything else in trading, it's not easy to land a gig like this, but it's possible, and there are services out there that can make this possible for you. So with that said, guys, I hope this was helpful to you. Again, you can still make reasonable amounts of money even if you don't have a ton of capital. But the reality of trading is that you need capital to make more of it. This is the financial markets. It is a business and it needs to be approached with respect and as a business. Guys, I hope you got something out of this video. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.